Folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a necklace using a couple of these wonderful, big, huge Tibetan turquoise beads here. Now, there's not very many of them. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And these cost $125. So obviously we're not going to use more than 1 or 2 of them in this necklace, and even so, it'll end up being pretty spendy. But we're going to cut this wire, and we're going to take a couple of these off, and we're going to get working on it. And I think we're probably going to go for these last 2 over here, a slightly larger one and a slightly smaller one. So I think these will be fun, and I will show you what we're going to do with these. I think you're going to like it. Anyway, I hope you are. I know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these pieces, and we're going to have our bigger one be our middle piece of our bar necklace that we're going to make. And then we're going to string our second one, the smaller one, down below it. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. In fact, I'm debating getting a different one than this, even though I really like this. It's, well, it's all right. It'll work. We'll see. So let's turn down. We'll get to work on it. What we're going to do is we're going to take these chunks. I took 2 off of our big strand, and we're going to put this one as the top, then we're going to space these little discs with spacers on either side of it. Then we'll do a disc on either side of this one down here as well. And what we're going to do then is take some wire, and we're going to do a little bar necklace on either side. Then we're going to string some chain between the 2 of these to bring them together, sort of. And then we're going to make some little dangled strands with the chips in order to make a nice necklace. So we're going to start by just doing the bar sections, and then we'll find some chain and start putting them together. So I've got some gold wire here, and all we're going to do is take a length of this, and I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to need, so I'm just going to start stringing the beads on. And we're going to start with a little washer spacer, this littler guy here, then another of the small washer spacers. Because that is a little guy, we don't want a really huge one there. Now we're going to go with a bigger one, and then we'll go into our bigger washer spacers. So it's going to look like so, and then we're going to put our big bead here in the middle. Now this is apparently hollow in the middle, so we got to get it to go straight through. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now we're going to go and do the exact same thing on the other side here. Need a couple of little washer spacers here, because now we're going to that small one there. And this is what our bar is going to look like right here. So we're going to fold her up just a hair's breadth, and we're going to wrap it up on both sides. So let's cut the wire off about right here, and we can wrap this baby up. So then the second one, this one here, is going to be more or less the same, except for it's only going to be the smaller guy, one disc, our bead, Got to work it through there because it is wanting to not go straight. Got to find our hole on the other side. There we go. And we'll have, of course, this and our small washer spacer again. So these are all extras, though I'll probably put some small ones in between these when we get to that. So now I got to cut this piece loose. So now we have our two sections, and I just have to make our loops. And then what we'll do is we'll find some chain that we really like. We'll chain from loop to loop, and then we'll make some like 2 or 3 dangles for either side with these. So let's wind these up. So we can just do a regular round loop on these, which is what I am going to do, because I had considered doing a whoop. I lost my little section here, and that's fine. We're gonna have to get it. If they fall off while we're wrapping, we'll just get them rewrapped. And I am going to go up to the second loop here. I want that little bit of size. So let's let these all fall off here, and we'll wrap this side up and over and around, bring it down, bring it around, and wrap. Now I'm going to wrap, probably 3, maybe even 4 times, depending on how I feel. I need, actually this only wants 3, so we're going to cut it off here at 3 and tuck this in. So now we're going to put our beads back on. And as you can see, we actually could have done without our little washer spacers here, because it's sort of going, just sort of melting into our wrap, and that's fine. No problem there. So now let's get this side wrapped. So we want to tuck it so it'll go the same direction. So we're going to bend right here, and we're going to get our second one out, up and around and over, bring it down and around. Now, if I had wanted to, I could have actually put my my chain in here right now, but we're just going to jump bring it in because I haven't decided what chain to use, and I haven't decided how long I want said chain to be. So we're going to just make sure that when we do it, we don't drop our pieces. Uh-oh, where did it go to? There it is. To get this side finished wrapping, since it wanted to go on the floor there for a second, and I'll get hold of my tweezers and finish, or I mean not tweezers, but my pliers, and get this guy finishing up on this side. My plier is grabbing hold of my little spacer there, so it doesn't want to turn down. But there we go. We got our piece done there. So there is our secondary piece, the one that is going to go down and have our dangles on it. So I'm going to need some more small spacers, but I think we're good as far as the large ones are concerned. So now we need to do the same thing on our large one. So we want to, because this is, when this comes down, it's going to go right down here. Chain's going to go there to there. Dangles of chips here, and here. So we'll just bend this over. Oops, and they're falling off that side, and that's fine. Let's just let them all fall off, and we'll put them back on. So I just wanted to show you what they were going to look like anyway. So now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Wrap this up about 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and that should be good. So we'll cut the extra off and tuck it in. Ooh, wants to slip sideways on me there. That's fine. Got it. There we are. Now we're going to put all of our beads back on that just fell off the side here. And get this guy ready to go with the other side. So we want this one, this little guy. Now we could have put one of these little guys down here too to add a little something, but I did not, so that's fine. So slide that over there. Get our big bead on now. These babies are hollow, so that you need to get it to go straight across for you. Come on, sweetie. There we go. And there's a lily hair. Now we're going to go put this side back on. I like the sound of these because they have such an interesting clunking sound because they're hollow inside. So now because this one is turned up this way, we want this one to turn up this way as well. So we're going to face it towards us and do our bend. No, you can't turn. There we go. Now if you did get the bend going sort of wonky, that's all right, because you can twist it around to make it go where you want it after the fact. So up and around and over. I'm going to bring this down and around. And then I'm going to pull these out, and I'm going to hold it with pliers while I wrap it. Seem to have left less wire on this side than I thought I had, but that's all right. It'll work fine still. Okay, it's getting hold of that little spacer again there on my wire. As I finish it up here. There we go. So there is our big piece, and here is our little piece. Now I need to find whatever kind of chain I want to use for this so that I can make the chain going up, chain going down, and then the dangles, like I said, I think I'm just going to get some regular eye pins, and we're just going to cut the chips, and I'm just going to make three dangles on each side of various lengths. Now I could use beading wire, but I think I'm just going to use some head pins. So next step. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chain and we're going to swing it between here and here, so that these are not real far apart, but they're not right on top of each other. So we're going to take a couple pieces of chain and do that. So we'll get those hooked together. And wow, that looks sort of cool with it hanging down there too, but I'm not going to do that. Though I could just bring it up to like right here and then put the dangles down the side. We'll decide. Anyway, I'm going to cut 2 little pieces of chain, put them on here. Then I'm going to make 3 dangles of various sizes for either side. Then as we come up, I'm going to break the chain in a few places and put some little hunks of beads into it. So what we're going to do is we need to, first of all, see if this wire is too big for our dangles when I put them up in the chain. And if they are, then of course I'll have to find some different. But here is our turquoise. It says it's Alyssa turquoise. This is real turquoise chips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these loose. And what I want to do is make a couple of, I'm going to make 3 dangles for either side of various lengths. And I'm going to put a couple of little spacers in between. And then we're going to dangle those here. Then, like I said, we're going to take like 3 to 5 of our little beads every once in a while. And we're going to break our chain here. I'm thinking 3 would be good. Let's even see, though, if the chips will fit on this wire or if I need to find a different size. Looks like they'll fit. Well, maybe not all of them. Some of them will fit. Some of them won't. So that is one thing you have to think about when you're putting things together like this is, will all of them fit or will only a couple fit? And you'll have to space them out so that you get that fit in there. So I think we're just going to do 3 every once in a while. We'll break out the chain and put them inside to add a little bit of oomph to it. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to make some dangles from these and put 2 or 3 dangles down each of these, and then we're going to hook these together with some of the chain. So because we don't need the big one right away, we're going to work on the dangles for the bottom one. We will just simply move this up out of our way while we make some dangles. I need to get some more of these little spacers out. I'm probably going to put a spacer between each of our 3 chips so that we have some kind of the gold bringing down to the piece here. So the first thing we want to do is get some head pins. And you know, I may use, I hadn't thought I was going to do this, but I have what we call paddle pins. I've got some of those. Though I couldn't put as many beads on here as I would want with paddle beads. So maybe not these paddle pins. So maybe not. Maybe we'll just use regular head pins. Though the paddle pins are cool, aren't they? So it would just, come on. Sit like so and then hang down with our paddle being down below like this. But since the paddle pins are not atrociously long, and I do want probably some of my pieces to be longer than that, I am going to get out my regular ball head pins, and we will use those. And I just knocked my wires down, but that's all right. So I'm going to just get my case of pins out, and we're going to want about 6 of these because we're going to do 3 dangles on either side. One more. I love this case for my pins. It's so nice to be able to have them all separated out nicely like this. just put them back where they belong here. My turquoise is trying to escape over here beside us here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, like I said, I'm just going to take some of our chips, and I'm going to go like every third one here, and then put a spacer and 2 or 3 more depending on how many I decide to go on our dangles, like so. I think it needs at least 1 or 2 more, and maybe it will put a spacer at the bottom and see about like something. Let's see about you. How do you sit down there? That's good. Go 3 spacers, 3 a spacer, 3. Now we've got to think about how long do we want our longest one to be. That is an important thing, and this spacer looks like it's going to fall off the end of this. So I'm just going to take it off. It looks cool, but see how it's going around the ball? It's about to fall off, and we don't want it to fall off after we get it going. So we're just going to take it off of there and just go with our chips. And that's not going to, that doesn't look like it's going to try and go over the ball, which is a good thing. We don't want them over the ball. Now, I could have found a different spacer that would not, like I have some daisy spacers that are quite small that I know would not go over that, but we're using washer spacers for this project, so we don't want to use a larger item here. I mean a different style of item here, so to speak. So let's see, I want a relatively small one for the bottom. Now, these are not going to match from side to side. Let's face it, these are chips, and they are real turquoise chips, so they're really cool. We definitely want to use our real turquoise chips on this. And so oh, we need a spacer up at the top because we put one on this other side. So I think the next one we will, I may just put the 6, then we'll see how it goes to put then another 3 and another 3, depending on how long it gets towards the top of our bead strand or our wire. We can't, of course, go so that it won't wrap. We need to make sure that we have a wrappable and I actually think the this last one is going to be the last I want to put on here so that we have wrapping space. So we have to decide then, do we want 2 smaller ones and the long one, or do we want just a long one and the small one, or, you know, how do we want to do this? Do we want three, for sure, 3 on either side? Do we maybe just want 2 on either side? Let's get the other side wrapped up here, and then we'll have to make that decision. Do we want to have, how many do we want on each side? The 2 strands or 3 strands or what? 2 strands might just be just fine. This needs to turn over. It's not fitting together real well there. There we go. I think we'll stick with just the 2, though I will put another spacer at the top of this one and the other one. So let's get these 2 wrapped up, and I am probably going to put them on with jump rings onto the bottom piece here. So get our, we could, if we wanted to, hardwire these onto here. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that, but I don't think we're going to. Just bring these around, bring her over, get her ready to wrap up. Now I could have used bronze pins, and I should have thought about that because I do have some bronze pins in my box there, but I did not, so too late to worry about it now. So now we got to wrap these guys. So I'll grab my pliers, hold them together here where the wires meet, grab my second plier, and we'll wrap those. Hold it. No going anywhere. Cut that off and finish it later. We'll just wrap all of these up right now. Nope, you can't go above. You're supposed to go below. Come on. There we go. Oh, stop. Grab hold of that better. Now let's get these trimmed off and tucked in, and then we can hook these onto our piece down there. You know, I actually like how these little ones look like this. We could just put little ones like this with 3 in the washers between the chain pieces. That would look really cool, I think. This baby wants to twist, so we need to hold it. It just did a weirdo, but I think it'll be all right. So there is our dangle pieces. So we'll get some jump rings and hook those on like this. So I have some little, we'll use gold. Even though I do have some bronze over there, we'll use some gold. And I think these little guys should be big enough, since we're just going to hook the one wire to the other. So now we'll hook these two onto the other side here. Now there was one other thing I was debating, and that was making, since this is going to go chain to chain here, do we want another little dangle right up here? And maybe we do. I think that might be cute, especially since I'm thinking of putting dangles, these little pieces, breaking the chain and putting all of these little pieces up the edges too. So we might make a couple more. I've got 2 more wires with just the small amount, the 3 and 3, to take it up. Oh dear, I put one on either side here, so we got to switch these around because I think I want oh no, I got it right. I think it just was flipped on me there. So like this, then we're put a short length of chain between the two, and then we're going to do, I think, another dangle here, since it won't come really all that close to the pieces here. So we get a few more of our chips off of our length here, and we'll do our pattern up with the little one. to put up here on this particular arm when we get to that point. 1, 2. I think these are a little wider than I want some of them to be, so we're going to get some of the smaller ones out here. 3, the spacer, the next 3, 1, 2, and a third one with a spacer. And to wrap up these two, though I think we'll probably want to decide on our chain length and cut it and put it in place prior to putting these two loops on. So let's get these wrapped up. Then we will decide how long of a piece of chain we want to use between our two main pieces here. So there's those two bent. So we've got to do the wraps. And I do like this way this looks, so I probably will get some 20 gauge wire out and do, oh, I don't know, 4 or 6 of these up so that when we start working in the chain itself, we can put some of these into the chain. I think that will be really nice. You could just use plain chain, but I want to pull the turquoise up into the chain, I think. So now we're going to put the chain on in a minute, and when we put the chain on, then we will put these on the outside edge of the chain so that they're not getting in the way of our chain going down to our second level piece. So it's gonna be like so. With our pieces hanging like this, these going here, and a little bit of chain going between the two pieces, like so. So I'm going to probably put, let's see, I think that looks good for a length for our chain. So let's see how many links that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this last one is 13. So we'll try the 13 and see what it looks like then, or if we need to shorten it any after we get our 13 links of chain on. Let's recount that. Make sure I did cut 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we need to cut a second piece of 13, and then we need to put these pieces together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we cut here. So there's our two pieces of 13 that are going to go down between our two main focal pieces here, and then we will now we can jump ring this on too, and I have some small bronze tinky tots so that they'll match the chain. So we'll get a couple of those out to put the chain on, and then we'll use these to put our little pieces on. So let's get our chain put on first. So we'll open up this link. I didn't put my cutters away, and now they're in my way a little bit, but that's all right. We can fix that. So we want to put the link on down here. You know what? These are, I wonder, yeah, they're sort of halfway in between. I was going to say it might be nice to put use our medium size jump rings if, since we're putting the chain on, and the chain is slightly bigger links than our tiny links are, so it might work out better to put the medium jump rings on our chain, but we'll see how it looks here when we get this first one in place here, if we feel we need to switch it to the mediums. I think it'll be all right with this small. So let's get this other piece put on, and then we need to put the other side on, of course, and put our two dangles in place. So get our chain through our loop here. Come here, you. And onto our upper piece. Oops. Well, maybe we do want the medium size. This one doesn't want to go on. So I am going to get a couple of medium jump rings out. Like I say, they are a little bigger, and I think they'll match our chain is a little bigger anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get 6 out because we will need to put the chain on, the upper chain on too. So put these aside, and we'll use the bigger ones now to put our chain on. I will have to, of course, remove the one little guy from off of the bottom, but that's all right. We'll do that too. Oops, I got 2 of them. That won't work, will it? So we go through our link, and then through our chain, our piece here. Close this baby up. Now I could leave this the smaller jump ring at the bottom if I wanted to, but if I do that, I do need to use the smaller one for you know, I think that's going to be too long. Look at how far apart that is. I don't want that far apart. I think it could pull up at least, oh, I don't know. Let's see how many links. Because I want it about so far. So I think we'll cut like 4 links off. And then when we can put it back on with the, and I'll take this piece off. We'll save this piece of 3 that I've cut off of here because, well, I can use it for something else at some later date. So take this baby off of here. Come on, I've already got you open. You should come right off. Isn't it funny how sometimes they'll go on really easily and then they don't want to come back off again? So we need to see if this is a better fit with the 3 cut off. We are going to use a slightly bigger jump ring down here on the bottom, so it will still give us more than we had before. I mean, we won't be, I shouldn't say more than we had before, but it'll be a little longer length having that piece cut off like that. And then we'll put this guy on here. And did I cut this one off already? I did not, did I? And we cut off, well, we cut off 3 links, but we, oh, that was the, yeah, that was the spacer there. So we want to cut off 3 links. Uh-oh, it looks like I may have already cut the 3 links off. No, that's the 3 links I just cut, isn't it? Yeah, because there's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So now we will hook this other side up, and then we'll put our 2 dangles on the end here. Come on, go on there. There we go. There we go. Now we need to put our 2 little dangles on either side. And then we're going to make up some more of these dangles to go, well, they won't be dangles, of course, because they're going to be breaking the chain and going up into the chain. So let's get these Tinky Tots here and put our dangles in place. And if we wanted to, we could also put dangles off the chain so that it would sort of match down here, but I don't know if that's necessary. We'll decide as we go along. If I decide it's necessary, we'll do some, or if I think it would look really cool. But in the meantime, we're going to just put this together. Come on, you. Go on there. So there we go. Oh, let's twist it a bit here. Let's twist you back the way you're supposed to go here. There we go. So there is our base piece that we're going to be hooking our chain onto and then going up from there. So let's, I'm going to need to get a few more spacers out, obviously, since I want at least 1 per link, and we're going to do at least, I think at least 4, if not 6 links up our chain. So let's get some more beads going, get some more pieces of wire out, and we'll start making our little wraps like these. As we go up, we can hook them into our chain, and if we decide we need more for dangles, we can then make some more to dangle also from our chain. So let's get to that. Hi folks. This is being a very long video, so I think we're going to split it in half right here, The first half, of course, has been our focal piece for the bottom, and the second half will be our chain piece. So let's end this right now, and we'll see you later for the second half. Bye-bye.